Hello everyone. Till previous video, I completed the basics part. Now in this video, I am going to start this advance. Okay. So let's start. In the advanced tab, we have to configure security setting. So whether we have to mark this checkbox or not, that we have to decide using the description. So when I hover this, we can see. So when we mark this checkbox, what will happen? It will the security transfer option enhance the security of your storage account by only allowing REST API operation on storage account using HTTPS. Any request using HTTP will be rejected when this setting is enabled. So when we enable this setting means when we mark this checkbox, any request that comes using HTTP will be rejected. So it should come with HTTPS. Okay. Now when we are using the Azure file service, connection without encryption will fail. So if in this storage account, if we have a Azure file service and if we use without encryption, then that will be failed. So whether we have to check mark or not this security option, it's based on our requirement and security scenarios, and to decide we can read this. Okay. Next is allow enabling access on individual container. So again, if we don't understand whether we should mark or not, then let's hover this, we can read this. Okay. And if we want to know more, then we can click on learn more and we can understand these things. Still I am saying this class is for data engineer, and as a data engineer we don't need to go in this details. Okay. We just need to understand basics, how to create a storage account and how to use that storage account. Our work is to understand how to use a storage account, how to access the file of the storage account, not what are the things we should consider while creating a storage account, because this security kind of things, networking kind of things comes under infrastructure and security teams. We just need to know the basics. Okay. And even we won't get chance to create this, everything will be created by infrastructure and security and can say cloud team who manage these things. We just need to work on that. Like we just need to work on this available service or available file. So we must know how to work on files. We must know how to access the file using different services like Synapse, Databricks, like that. Okay. So if I hover this, we can see the basic, we can get the basics idea. Like blob container by default do not permit anonymous access to their content. This setting allows authorized user to selectively enable anonymous access on a specific container. Okay. So we can leave, it's not required. Enable storage account access key. So when we click on this, we can enable the access of this storage account using access key. So again, it depends upon requirement and security scenario. So either we can do or we can remove, that's not a problem. We will get all the things already pre-built. Next is default to Microsoft Intra authorization in the Azure portal. Again, if we don't understand, we just need to click. When this property is enabled, the Azure portal authorized request to blobs, file, queues and table with Microsoft Intra ID by default. Okay. Next is minimum TLS version. So here also we have to select the TLS version. TLS version is a transport layer security. So let me show you something. I just want to give basics about this TLS version. Select the minimum version of transport layer for incoming request to storage account. The default value of TLS version is 1.2. When set to default value, like when we set 1.2, incoming request made using TLS 1.0 or 1.1 are rejected. So if we select 1.2, then incoming request like 1.3, 1.4 will be accepted, but less than this will be rejected. And TLS is just a transport layer security, and these are the versions. Like when some modification happen, then version gets changed. Again, we don't need to go deep in this kind of things, like security kind of things. Everything will be taken care by another teams. This is not work of data engineer, and we cannot understand and we cannot go in the deep, because our work is to work on data, not on infrastructure. Okay. Next is permitted scope for copy operation. So when we hover on this, we can see restrict copy operation from source storage account that are within the same Microsoft intra tenant, or that have private link to the same virtual network as this storage account. So here we have to select from any storage account. Copy can happen from any storage account, from storage account in the same Microsoft intra-tenant, from storage account that have private endpoint to the same virtual network. Again, this is based on the requirement security label. We just need to understand the basics. That's it. Now next is hierarchical namespace. So whether we have to enable this or not. So I am just enabling. So if I enable, then I will have options to create a hierarchy of folders. Next is access protocol. Blob and data lake Gen 2 endpoint are provisioned by default. So either we can enable SFTP or we can disable SFTP. So SFTP is just one kind of protocol. So if we enable, then any file transfer or data transfer happen, that must have to pass through this protocol. Now again, we don't need to go in the details of what is protocol, because these are the very big topics, and this is none of our business to learn this. Okay, our business is to just learn how to work on a storage account. So again, this is the blob storage. uh, this is disabled mm, because we are using standard one, not blob one. Now next is access tier, hot or cool. Optimize for frequently accessed data and everyday user scenario. Optimize for infrequently accessed data and backup scenarios. So if some of the files we don't use frequently, then in that case we can choose this one. And if we have to use the files like every day, every time, then we can go with this hot scenario. Okay, now let's click on networking. So this part I will explain in the next video. Thank you.